Okay. So for those that are interested in becoming like a public speaker, for whatever reasons, there are various reasons why you might want to become one. They make the conscious decision that, hey, I want to enter public speaking. How did they get started? Where did they go? What should they do?
For sure, Elijah. So here's what I would say. Communication's like juggling 18 balls at the same time. One of those balls is eye contact, one of those balls facial expressions, body language, storytelling, pacing, and the list goes on. So it can get really confusing for people. So
Hmm.
for me, the question has always been, what are the three easiest balls that one can juggle in the air to get started with their communication tomorrow? So for me, ball number one is the random word exercise. Pick a word like stylo, like style, like fashion, like light bulb, and create random presentations out of thin air. And this helps with two things. One, it helps you think quickly on your feet. And the second piece is if you can make sense out of nonsense, you could make sense out of anything, Elijah. So that's exercise number one that I recommend.
Cool. So it's kind of like a self-prescribed improv class, sort of.
You got it. And then it
Okay.
helps you with small talk as well.
Right, right. I like that. I like that. Okay. So, because I do know there are some people that they're actually a public speaker for a living. If a person really let's say they're committed to actually doing this as a living, if they're new, how does a new speaker go about getting booked? Do you have any advice for that? Because obviously, as your rep grows, it becomes easier and easier. People may even start coming to you, but when you first start out, who are you? Why should I let you speak to my audience? Like, how do they overcome that?
For sure, Elijah. So before I jump into that, which is more of an advanced question, let's talk about the two other exercises, which are
Sure.
question drills and video messages. So ball number two is the question drill. We get asked questions all the time in our life. On a podcast, on a sales call, when we're running our business, our careers, but most of us are reactive to those questions. We're not proactive. A few years ago when I started guesting on podcasts, I sucked. I remember some guy asked me the funniest question. He said, "Where does the fear of communication come from?" And I looked at him and I said, I don't know, man. Los Angeles? San Diego? You tell me." So I had no idea how to answer the question. So what did I do? Every single day for 5 minutes, I answered one question that I thought the world would ask me about my expertise until I had an answer for everything. So I did that every
Hmm.
single day for a year. That's it. Number two. And number three is the video message. Just make a list of all your clients, all the people that you serve, the people that you love in your life, and send them all a 20-second video message just saying how grateful you are of having them in your life, how grateful you are of having their business. And that's what creates relationships that ultimately leads to more word of mouth. And you also make people's days better.
Hmm. Those are three actionable tactics to build yourself up in this area, and also move you closer to a variety of outcomes. I like that. It's very practical advice too, and it's advice you can implement like right away. It's not like you have to wait to go buy something. You can like theoretically, as soon as a person finishes listening to this podcast, they could go and start doing those things and start getting results. I love that.
Absolutely, Elijah. Which then plays now into your question around speaking engagements. Here's my advice always: if you're not willing to do those three things every day, don't even bother trying to be a paid speaker. It's super competitive, it's cutthroat. Okay, so if you're not spending 15 minutes every day to just do the random word exercise, do the question drills, why should you be paid to speak? Right? Like it's like a business, like anything else. And Rory Vaden says it so well: the problem that you're solving for your audience needs to be greater than the fee that somebody is giving you. So you better be so good that the market can't ignore you. So how does that now tie into how to do this? The answer is really simple, and people won't like it. The answer is create your own stage. Don't wait for people. Don't wait for permission to get on people's stages. Ask for it. I mean, I asked to be on your show, right? If I just waited to be on people's podcasts, I'd maybe go on two podcasts a week when people, even now with my YouTube channel success. But because we're messaging so many people, I'm going on like 20 shows a week, right? That's the mentality that you want to have. Don't wait for people to give you permission. Ask for it, or don't ask for it rather. But the other piece is for the speaking engagement specifically, Elijah. Here's the recommendation: open a Zoom call and give a presentation on your topic, on what you want people to pay you for, and do it for free. And do that every 2 weeks. And I did that 100 times before I ever got paid to speak.
You're getting a lot of practical tips. I like it.
That's the key, man. You gotta add value.
You gotta add value. I love that. Gotta add value. And obviously, you can't be afraid of. Well, this goes to entrepreneurship too, but you can't be afraid of the word no. You'll get some no's, but it's just part of the process to get to your next yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So some people may be wondering. There's a lot of things you should do in the public speaking arena, but what are some don'ts that you should not do?
I would say the biggest don't is lack of consistency. That's the biggest don't by far. The problem, Elijah, is not that this is rocket science, because it isn't. It's that people aren't booking 15 minutes in their calendar every day to do the random word exercise, to do the question drills, and to send those video messages. And there's one rule with sending video messages that I want people to know. You're not allowed to retake the video. That's it. You just get paid on output, on nothing else. And that's really where I see is the biggest mistake. People aren't willing to do it consistently. It's kind of like going to a gym, right? Sure, you can ask people what the calorie intake is, what the diet plan is, nitpick as to which personal trainer you want to work with, where you want to work on calves versus the arms, or you can just walk 15 minutes a day every day. Are we doing that? Are we doing intermittent fasting? Are we eating the right things? That's where we start the conversation with, and then we move forward from there. The other mistake I will put out there that a lot of people are making is they don't have a clear reason why communication matters to them. That's why I always ask this question: how would your life change if you were an exceptional communicator? And the reason I ask this question is because it helps you think about, like if I was very good at communication, how would it change my podcast? How would it change my platform? How would it change my business, my career? And when you start to dream about it, it makes you way more excited and motivated to even do those 3 exercises.
And even just branching out of that, like, well, how would it impact my friendships? How would it impact my ability to make new friends? How would it impact my relationship? How would it impact my ability to get a relationship? Like,
Hundo, absolutely.
Sup, everyone. Y'all just watched a clip from one of the episodes of the Side Hustler Society podcast. If you want to check out the full episode, you can click on the link in the description right now, or click on the video that's showing in the end screen. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell notification if you want to be notified when another episode drops. And a thumbs up on this video is very much appreciated. I'll catch you in the next one.